I'm making this video to hopefully save somebody some time. I'm replacing the rear blower and or resistor on a 2006 Dodge Grand Caravan with 3-zone heating, air and air conditioning. I already took this thing apart, so I'm not gonna redo that because I'm going on vacation tonight and I really don't have time. But if you're wanting to replace the resistor or the blower, if your rear is not working, if you have the 3-zone automatic digital heating and cooling, then this is what your rear blower isn't working, then this is what it's going to look like. So what you want to do is you're going to start down here. You're going to pull this up, and this panel here, which I've already taken out, I'm getting ready to put back. Sorry about that. Goes over the blower and up into here, which is where the seat belt, the top of the rear right seat belt hooks in. In order to get this off, it's just 3 clips down here, but the problem is you got to take this whole thing off, because if you don't take the whole thing off, you can't get to the resistor, which is in the back here, or the blower, which is right here. Okay, so you got to take this whole panel off. All right, so anyway, so you start there, and then you take this right panel off over here, and in order to do that, it's just those 3 clips, and that'll expose this bar here. But once you do those clips, it'll get stuck right up here, and this is where the top of the seat belt will go. So here's the top of the seat belt right here, and when it goes back, it'll go like that. Okay, so after the panel's in, it'll go in, and that's the last bit that you got to go. And there's a clip up there. I'm not quite sure what that's for. So anyway, all right, so you get that all done, and the seat belt has 2 places. The one on the top there that I just showed you, and then down here, I'm not sure what I did with the bolts. Actually, sorry, they're actually connected. So this, you got to undo this. Okay, you got to undo this, and then this bolt here, you'll expose it when it's up there. Sorry, you'll expose it when it's up there, and you'll unscrew it, and then this whole panel will come out. Okay, so you take that whole panel out. The reason you got to do that is because in order to get to this thing, the blower motor, which is right there, and the resistor, if you can see it, it's in the back. I'll show it to you in a minute. But you got to be able to pull these out. Dodge, in its infinite wisdom, put the screws on the back side, so you got to be able to take this out. So anyway, all right. So there's a couple screws down here to take this, to move this, and there's a screw here in the middle that attaches to the panel, and that'll all be intact. And then that leaves you with, if you're sitting in the far right rear, here's the speaker. You got to pull this panel out. I already pulled it out, so mine's all loose. So you can take that panel out, and it's just, you can see, it's just clips. It's not a big deal. It just goes right back in. I'll pop it back in there in a minute. And then once you have this bar, that bottom bit of the seat belt there, and the top bit of the seat belt out, then you can pull this away. You can pull this panel away. Okay, well, once this is pulled away, then you have access to the actual blower and the resistor. So I've seen a couple of these where it's I don't know if it's not 3-zone with the digital readout and rear control. I don't have any idea, but they made it look a lot easier. Or the resistor was kind of like in here somewhere, and you only had to pull this panel out. But you can't do that with these ones. So what you got to do is you got to take this bolt out here, right there. This bolt right here.
That one.
And then once you take that bolt out and you have this out, then I'm sorry, you got to take that bolt out. And well, the reason you got to take this panel out is because right in there, I don't know if you can see it, to the right of the seat. Sorry, it's a little dark. To the right of the seat belt, not this top one here, but right below it. Let's get my finger down in there. Right. Sorry. Right there where my finger is. I know it's a little bit dark, but you'll see it. It's attached to the blower. So you got to take this one out, and you got to take that one out there. When you take those out, then you'll be able to move the blower. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew those so you can see what I had to do, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I actually found a light here so you can see this bolt a little bit better. There we go. So here's the back panel. I'm going to get the light on. And here, right here, this bolt right there. That's the one. So I've already unscrewed it most of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and unscrew it the rest of the way. Okay, so there you go. These are 10 millimeters. Okay, so when you do that, so you've got this panel out. Okay, and you got this screw here, which is 10 millimeter, and this screw down here. Then this whole thing will pull away. You don't want to be too rough with it because there's actually attached to the AC hose, AC lines, which are they're rigid. You can see that down here, right here. Now up in here there are hoses, so it's not a big deal. You can move it, but just don't get too crazy. So anyway, then once you do that, so let me back up here so you can see the back of the van. And then once you do that, then you can move this just enough to be able to get in here. Okay, so you know, they could have made it easy and just put, there's the motor in there, the blower motor. Could have made it easy, and they could have just put something in here, be able to take these off. You don't need to take these clips off or anything like that. What you do need to do though is the resistor is right here. Okay, let me get that light again. The resistor is right there. Okay, and the blower motor is right here. Now both of them are held on by T20 Torx bits. Okay, so there's 3 Torx bits. Get the light again. There's 3 Torx bits on the blower motor. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble seeing. There's, you'll see them when you pull it out, but there's one on the top here, right there. Sorry, right there. I know it's hard to see, but there's one here. There's one here, right here. You can see where my finger's at right there. And then there's one on the back side, and you'll see it when you pull it away. So you gotta, it's down in there somewhere. And then there's 2 Torx bits on the resistor right there. Okay, one, you can see it shining gold right there. There's one on the top, and then there's one on the bottom. So I'm not going to take them out, but when you unscrew the 3 bolts or the 3 Torx bits for the blower motor, it'll come right out, and you'll just pull it out like this and it'll come out. Same with the resistor, it'll just come right out. And so in my particular case, I went to get the resistor. I thought it was the blower motor, but I decided that I would get the resistor and the blower motor, because I wanted to get it all done, and I had the car all torn up, and we're leaving on vacation tonight. But AutoZone did not have the blower motor, but they did have the resistor. So when I came home, and I'm going to show you this, when I came home, I had the resistor. And I said, well, you know what? I'll just put the resistor in and put the old blower motor in, and lo and behold, the blower started working. So here's the old resistor. Looks perfectly fine. I don't know why it went bad or what the story is, but so I put the resistor in, and again, it goes right in there, and there's 2 clips that are right here and here for the resistor, and there's 1 clip on the back side of the blower motor. If you want to take it back, it's back here where the 3rd Torx bit is at. So you got 1, 2 Torx bits, and then 3. And so once you do that, then you can go ahead and shove this back. Now what you want to be careful of is in the front here, see the speaker up there. I actually disconnected the speaker by accident. I started banging and the speaker came out, so you want to be careful there. But right here where the housing connects, you got to make sure that those are connected, and then right here, once those are all in place, then you can go ahead and stick this bolt back in and put the other bolt that we were having trouble seeing before in. And we'll put that one back in there, and you can go ahead and button it back up. So with the 3-zone system, everything that I read said that if your resistor is malfunctioning, then if you turn the rear heat on high, rear heat or AC, whatever, on high, that it'll work because there's no resistance. But that wasn't the case with my car. I got lucky because I really thought it was the motor, but because I decided to get the resistor and the motor, and I just had to the motor wasn't going to come in for a couple hours, so I just said, hey, well, you know, I'll try the resistor, and lo and behold, I went ahead and flipped the car on and turned the rear AC on, and sure enough, it worked. So in reverse, clearly, you know what to do. I'm going to start up here, and you can kind of see I'm a little bit away from the molding is a little bit away, so I'm going to go ahead and get all this stuff back where it goes, and I'll show you what it all looks like when I'm all done. Okay, just real quick before I button all this up, I forgot this panel here. In order to be able to move this out of the way, so you can get to the blower motor, there's screws in here that you got to put back. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws here, and then you got a screw here, 2 screws down here, and I already buttoned this back up by putting that bolt back, and of course the bolt that's back behind here in front. So, and all right, I'm gonna put those screws in, put all this back, and I'll show you it working. Okay, I got it mostly back together, but I want to show you something before I go ahead and completely button this thing up. Is this back panel here? remove this. This is the first thing that this once you pull this up, and this is going to be the very first one that you remove. So when you remove it, okay, your best bet is to right up underneath here. I already showed you once, but this is where the seatbelt goes. So you take that out, and that's the top of the seatbelt. So the seatbelt goes up like that. So you pull this back and you take this out, and then there's nothing else that's holding it in except for just you know, where it's attached to the rest of the molding. Hold on a second, I'm losing my bolt. I don't want to do that. Okay, so we'll get back to that in a second. But anyway, so once you take the rear passenger seatbelt, then take this panel and you'll have it up from down here, and just pull it back like this. And just pull it, and it'll be a little bit tough right here. Hold on a second. And you can pull it up from the top. So you pull it back from here and pull it back from the top, and then it'll just come out. And then you'll expose that, and you'll get to where those screws are down there. That screw. You're gonna have to take out that screw, and then you'll pop this panel off right here, and you can just use your hand, and this will just pop right off. And right behind there is where I already showed you. There's like 2, 4, 6, 7, something like that, screws or whatever. Okay, so anyway, with my panel out, because I'm going to go ahead and button this up and finish up this video, I'm going to go start the car, and we'll turn the rear on. And so I've got it on auto, and I'm going to turn this all the way up and turn that all the way down. Not that I really should have to, but anyway. And if you can hear it right there, my blower is working. I didn't have to replace my blower. I only had to replace the resistor, but either way, if you have to replace your blower or your resistor, you have to go through this process. So hope that helps you out. I looked everywhere for a video on how to do this, and I couldn't find one. So if this helped anybody out, basically you need 10mm socket, T20 screwdriver, regular old Phillips screwdriver, T20 Torx to take the blower and or the resistor off, and once you get all the panels and that kind of stuff off, and that's pretty much about it. Just a little bit of muscle, and I'm sorry, you're gonna need, I don't know how big this thing is, but let's take a look. Yep, there you go. So for the bottom one, for this screw right here, for the bottom of the seatbelt, you need a 13/16, and for the top, I don't know what this is. Let's take a look. Yeah, looks like 9/16 will work. Probably 14mm. So for the top screw, you need 14mm. So, all right. Hope that helped you out. You got any questions? Post them in the comments. I'll be happy to help you out. This took me like 2 hours to do. Probably if you if you follow this video, or if I made any sense at all, you can probably knock it out in about a half an hour, as long as you have the right parts. All right, have a great day.